Hold on. I have made all of these books so far. You itchy? Want me to scratch you? Do you wanna go for a walk? Do you wanna go for a walk? I'm off to Chit Chats to ship my orders. I try to keep these trips to once a week. Sometimes it's twice a week, but I have my Etsy orders here. Lucy is here. Lucy. She wanted to join me. Yeah, let's go. I like to stop by Fujiya when I drop off my packages to get a treat for myself. I held back to get some mochi because the prices are just getting higher here, so I'm gonna stop by the post office and then head home. Are you ready to go home? Do you want to go home? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's go. Awesome. This is a new camera that I'm going to try to use from now on for all my videos. It shoots in 6K, which is amazing. If it all works out, my videos can now be 4K. This is the same camera that I used for a recent ASMR video. The quality was just so dreamy and lovely, and so I'm excited to have a camera of my own. I think my video quality will be very much elevated with this camera, so let's take a look. That's huge. Cool. I'm gonna borrow this 35mm lens from Elliot. A perk of dating a filmmaker. If it weren't for him, I would not know how to use this at all. Okay, I'm gonna take some time to learn the ways of this camera and then I will show you some footage.
You got 2 seconds.
I just spent the last week pretty much filming, editing my ASMR video, and it's finally up today. I think I finally feel like a content creator. I don't know why that feels so weird for me to say. It's kind of like saying like I'm an artist. Like in the beginning when I'm first taking bookbinding more seriously, I was more comfortable saying I'm a bookbinder, but it was really tough to say that I'm an artist because there's, you know, certain expectations that come with that term. But I think thanks to the internet and social media, it's becoming an easier label to kind of identify with. To update you on where I'm at with my shop update, I have made all of these books so far. I want to make 5 of each design, so I've got a handful more to go. And I've also started working with the 100% cotton watercolor paper. I'm hoping to do a poll on Instagram to ask folks what the covers should look like and what they think about the size. I'm currently sewing some book blocks, so I'm going to chat with you while I do that. I've been really attached to my phone lately, and I'm noticing just difficulty being present in real life. It doesn't happen too frequently because this is where my anxiety is helpful to me. I often reach a point of overstimulation before I can actually get too deep in it, but I think it really skews my relationship to these apps because I'm also trying to post on them and like interact with people on them, so it makes me not want to do that. Thinking about how much I depend on being online, I want to have a positive relationship with it. As much as I'd like to spend my time just bookbinding and reading and hanging out at parks, a big part of my job is to be on my devices, and I haven't quite yet figured out my boundaries around it and how to more intentionally use it, especially as a consumer, like a viewer versus a creator. I just wanted to process this out loud because I can so easily feel stuck in it. So thanks for listening. I'm about to ask Instagram whether they want to see these watercolor sketchbooks with these Locta paper covers with embedded petals and leaves, or whether they want to see it with Chiogami paper covers. Hello, it's Friday and I'm feeling pretty grumpy today. I've had too much social media this week. With the story that I posted yesterday, it looks like Chiogami paper for the watercolor sketchbooks have won. So I've already started cutting the papers for the covers. So I've got this one and these cranes, for example. Because these books are going to be extra fancy, I'm going to make both covers with the same kind of paper. Usually I will just have Chiogami on the front and a solid color on the back, just so that I'm not going through so much Chiogami paper because it is expensive and higher quality. So for this one, I'm going to go all out and do Chiogami on both covers. I just messed up my sewing. I will zoom in here in the editing to show you that I pulled a bit too hard in one of the signatures and the thread ripped part of the signature. So I was trying to save it by like looping it around and pulling it towards the hole here, but it's not really working and it does look broken. So I'm going to undo it all just up to this hole here. And thankfully I have an extra signature of this hot press paper that I'm going to replace with it. Okay, so the holes are super stretched here. Don't worry, I'm gonna try to find a use for this. Hello, it's Monday. I'm feeling a lot better today. Shocking that taking a day off gives me energy and helps me feel mentally and physically well. I worked lightly on Saturday, and then on Sunday I made the intention to be as lazy as I could. I played a lot of video games and made myself some yummy pasta, and I even had the brain energy and attention to read, which is always a good sign. So today I'm working on the watercolor sketchbooks. I put in an order for more paper that has shipped and is coming. For this first batch, I just wanted to do some tests, and it totally worked out. Whenever I do Coptic stitch, it always feels really familiar and it feels like home. So I made these two so far. I've got this one, and I made them as square as possible. They kind of just turned out that way because of how I could most efficiently split up the large piece of watercolor paper. So it's great. I think the square format is perfect for painting. Something that I haven't really mentioned on this channel is paper grain, and that's because it just hurts my brain to think about it. It feels like really complicated math to me for some reason. But so I figured it out for these books. The paper itself, I did a test just by seeing where it folded most easily. And so all the paper grain for the pages go horizontal, and same with everything else in the covers. So the chipboard, the Chiogami, and the end papers. All the paper grain goes horizontal, and it's important to make sure all your paper grain goes the same way so that there's no warping and swelling in the future, especially if you want your books to last a long time. Honestly, sometimes I do just let it go. Maybe like a certain pattern of the paper will look good in a different orientation, so I might do that here and there. I have my own books that have paper grain that don't all go in the same way, and they've been fine. It's definitely ideal and a good practice to have, but I don't do it 100% of the time. July is ending this week, and I made a goal to update my shop at the end of the month, and it's here. And I also forgot that I'm going camping next week. I still have a lot of work to do in terms of binding all the books, taking the photos, creating the listings on my shop. When it comes to working, I am pretty intuitive about it, so I don't really plan things out. Every day my energy levels are very different, and so I just found that when I have to-do lists, I always feel disappointed that I didn't get enough done. So the approach that I've been taking lately is just to do what I can and do what makes me feel good and fulfilled and accomplished. What I'm trying to remind myself is that I can lift a lot of pressure off of myself to keep grinding and just kind of sit back and enjoy all the things that I'm doing, not really follow this false sense of what it means to be successful online that has been instilled in me. As someone who in my 20s really wanted to be on top of a mountain, and every day I am, working towards a kind of unachievable level of success in a short amount of time. But I realized that that kind of triumphant feeling can be felt in my daily routine of just being able to wake up and go to my studio and make books. Or it can be in the learning milestones where I learned how to make a case-bound book, or learned how to work with really fancy watercolor paper, for example. All of this to say that these couple years have been really transformative, and I've learned a lot about myself, and my dreams for the future have really changed. All I really want to do is to be able to create art and share art, and to feel at peace and to feel creatively fulfilled. That would be really cool. Of course, that's easier said than done, and it'll really depend on how well I can set boundaries for myself. I don't know how I got here. I started with telling you about my week. I think I'm just trying to pump myself up to get to the end of the week and launch my shop update. I made a last minute decision to come to the park during sunset to take some photos of my books. So let's see if we can get some good shots. It's around 8:40 right now, and the sun sets in 20 minutes, so we have a small window of time with golden hour light, and then is it blue light?
Magic hour.
Magic hour? Oh, when the sun sets, it's magic hour?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Elliot is here to help me.